The power of living without an audience. It's going to seem like I'm sending a lot of mixed messages in this particular discussion, but I'm not. I will clarify. But I admit I do have a lot of mixed feelings towards social media that I never had before, to be honest. Next month, February of 2026, will make 25 years that I have been online creating content every day. In the days that I missed because of an emergency or work, I doubled up or tripled up the next day. You all know that. And most of you know that my YouTube channel, last year in February, the 22nd to be exact, was taken down. It was hacked into, and YouTube was attempting to help me set it back up again. But the hacking that happened was by YouTube, because they couldn't get me any other way. And so how do I know that? When I went on my actual website that I'm dismantling now, LANCESCURV.com, which the site now is LANCESCURVX.com to go to because we're deconstructing that site. When I went to the older posts that had the old videos on there and they were embedded, it said this video is not available due to community guideline strikes, which in actuality reveals that they were behind it. So this is why I'm on LANCESCURVX also. I'm on YouTube, but if they choose to play games again, my content is on LANCESCURVX separately. So that's to clear up the confusion. But my mixed feelings of social media don't come from what happened to me with the almost 6,000 videos that I had that was several hours long, and a lot of classics were lost. Some were salvaged. But it didn't surprise me, but it did surprise me slightly that it really didn't affect me, because I'm a separate entity that really doesn't depend on social media, because I've always been this way, to communicate, to talk, to share. So this particular discussion is a two-pronged thing. It's really not for me, but partially for me, because I'm a content creator, technically. But in actuality, all of us are content creators. If you just take a picture and upload it, you created content. Maybe not to the level of having a show or putting yourself out there, but you're still creating content. But it's a different way than one who has an established name and a show and stuff they've committed to every day. So you understand. Doesn't mean I'm better than anybody who doesn't do it. You might be smarter than me. Come to think of it, because there are pluses and minuses to doing this with your personal life, with surveillance, government. I've had my brushes with the government of the United States, from them surveilling me because I've interviewed people that they deemed controversial, and I've said many things that were what they would consider controversial. But back in the day, you can get away with more as a content creator because they didn't decide to tighten the noose around your neck as of yet, like they're doing now. And like they did in 2020 with that particular reason why we had to wear the mask and had to take the jab for those who took the jab, which I didn't take it. But It's been a journey, and because I've been on this journey for so long, I can see the difference. And so I'm still adapting, and I'm going to put the effort where it's more effective and much easier for me, with a certain leverage that is just more effective. But right now, a lot of people are walking away from social media because they see how it's draining their lives and dominating their lives. For some reason, it never did that to me. But I'm not going to waste time on platforms that give you the death scroll. I don't know if you've heard that term before, but the death scroll are platforms like Instagram and TikTok. I've grown to like TikTok, but it's designed to keep you on it. The death scroll is when you scroll from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Just like Instagram, which is really designed for ads, to advertise, to sell you things. And people upload their own things, their pictures and their photos, but you get bombarded with so many things, and it's a never-ending thing that basically drains your brain. Because those who, and I've spoken to many, and I've talked to many online, who have gotten off of it if they don't have something to sell or a platform they're advertising. When they got off of it, they felt so much better. Because the perception is that we don't have the time to get important things done, yet we have the time to scroll endlessly. And I'm not saying this about anybody here personally. I'm just throwing it out there in a general way. Because before we had these abilities to scroll endlessly for content that we really weren't looking for. We scroll and we get stimulated and it pops up. Some things may be attuned to what we like because of the engineered algorithm. And the algorithm will introduce other things to see if you like it. It's like a box of chocolates. You know, when you're a little kid, at least me, when I was a child, I'd get to that box of chocolate that had assorted chocolates in it. And I would take a bite. And if it was nasty, I'd look, nobody's looking, I'm putting that piece back. And I would try to eat the pieces that I liked, judging by how they looked on the outside, but it was kind of hard because they all had the same chocolate exterior. But it keeps you coming back. Maybe the next one will be something that I like. Let me keep scrolling. And we get stimulated, and it does something to our brain. The dopamine hit. The dopamine hits when we put up photos or videos and somebody likes it or makes a comment. It's a rush for most people. With me, it's kind of clinical, you know, because whether a video gets one hit, 100 or 1,000, I'm a machine. I keep going. Because there's a lot of my brain and I have a lot of experiences that I want to share and different perspectives that pop up. And this one today, tonight, or whenever you're watching, it's a new one for me. I can't just say new, like it just popped up out of nowhere, but it's evolved. It's something that I've thought about and held close to me for a long time. But again, like I said, this is a two-pronged discussion. Mainly for those who just get on social media and look at things and don't worry about posting as much, just every now and then. So you have to understand that we live in a time where almost everything gets shared. Everything. Meals, moments, moods, and milestones are turned into content. If it isn't posted, many people feel like it didn't really happen. That mindset has quietly reshaped how people live think, and even measure their worth. It's a serious thing. But there's another group moving in the opposite direction. They don't document every moment. They don't explain themselves online. They don't feel pressure to perform their lives for strangers. And because of that, they stand apart in a world addicted to visibility. And it isn't about judging anyone who posts. Far from that. This is the way of the modern day. It's just about understanding a deeper truth that often goes unspoken. And again, 1 month shy of my 25 years as a content creator, I think I'm kind of qualified to say that. Choosing not to share everything isn't weakness. It's awareness. It's a form of intelligence that sees the cost behind constant exposure. Some people stay quiet, not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand the value of privacy. They know that every image shares gives away a piece of personal space. And they refuse to sell themselves for attention. Not that I'm saying anyone here is selling themselves for attention. Just bear with me, because you know I don't speak in a venomous way toward anybody. Especially me, I'm always online. In a culture that worships visibility, choosing silence becomes a form of power. A quiet one, but a meaningful one. Because when everyone runs toward the spotlight, the person who steps back begins to see something others miss. Not posting isn't about hiding. It's about choosing where your energy goes. And again, I post all the time, but I'm trying to post something of substance, something you could think about. And every now and then we're going to have fun. I'll get silly, I'll get crazy, because I am connected to many people who are out here. Many more know my name, many more know me, but there are a handful that are connected to me, that can text me, call me, and we talk. And it's not about the show, but the show and the podcast has afforded me that connection for the few who are kindred spirits. But the thing is, when everything is shared, life turns into a performance, and this is what you don't want to have happen. Moments stop being lived and start being managed. Experiences become content instead of memories. And slowly, without noticing, approval replaces presence. I had a thought the other day. It was, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I went to, if you can remember, and that footage is gone, a New Year's celebration here in Ghana. They had Erykah Badu, Dave Chappelle. They had other rappers that are well known, but the younger rappers I don't really know. So they had a lot of guys who I know their names, but I don't really follow them. And I thought to myself, 90% of the people had their phones up, trying to get the best shot of those who were performing for their own sake. But while they were videotaping on their phones, and some had cameras and some had nice cameras also, and some were media, I'll excuse the media because they were there to capture the event officially. And there's nothing wrong with pulling out your phone and recording some moments of a concert for yourself. But it was unlike concerts back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, things I can remember, where people didn't have phones and they were watching the concert. They were there singing along. They were there enjoying the experience. You go to a concert, you have your phone up, you're not really enjoying it and immersed in it soul to soul like you could, because it's part of the performance. Oh, here comes Erykah Badu. Let me get a shot of her so I can put it on my Instagram. I can put it on my TikTok. I can put it on my Facebook. But you're not in the moment. You think of curating this content so you can put it up, but you're not in a complete moment. I was there. I had a camera. I was doing it for the platform. I wasn't there at the concert actually because I wanted to be there. It's not like I didn't want to be there. But I've been to so many concerts, I've been to so many performances, I've been to so many things. I'm not saying I'm bored of it, but if I do experience something, I genuinely want to share it. But it's not about me trying to put a moment out there and make it seem like this is my life. I'm going to fancy restaurants. I'm going to all the concerts. Look at my clothes. Look at this. No. I know I have amassed a following, whether the numbers now make it seem that way or not, because my numbers are drastically low. There's so many people out there who have yet to find me again. So many thousands. It'll happen in time. I'm an old veteran with this thing. So that being said, it's not for me as an official content creator a thing of validation. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just showing you things that come along my path. But as far as the endless scrolling and looking and seeking and looking and looking, I don't do that. I don't do that. See, when you don't feel the need to post, and I'm saying this again to people who are not official content creators, but they'll share videos in the inboxes and DMs, or they'll post something on a page, but it's not in them to do that. Like people who are compulsive with it, addicted to it. You go to a restaurant, you see the food nice. Of course you want to show a nice plate. I've done it. I've tried to do that. I think I've done okay, but it kind of gets in the way of you living life. You're always whipping out the phone, and I'm not saying anybody here, but you're always whipping out the phone, and it's about what you show online and not about the moment, not about the enjoyment. And this is why, for me, I feel that the sense of time, the perception of time is moving faster because we're not really in the moment as we should, because we're thinking about what we can post and put out there without really experiencing the moment, because we're worried about what it's going to look like when it goes up online. You understand what I'm trying to say? Maybe I'm not making any sense, but hopefully you understand. But like I said, when you don't feel the need to post, something shifts. Your experiences stay yours. Your memories now carry weight. You don't need proof that you lived them. You know you did. That alone creates a quiet confidence that doesn't depend on reactions or applause. For me, a lot of guys I know that used to do bodybuilding back in the days when we all used to compete. One brother told me, "Hey man, don't you feel funny? We don't look like that anymore. And you see the young guys, buff, walking down the street. Don't you wish you can tell them how bad you really were back in the day, that you probably look better than them?" I said, man, listen, even from back then, I've come to terms with that because I knew that that particular time period was my time, was my peak. And all beauty, all muscularity, all of that youth will fade. If you can accept that, you can allow someone to have their time and not feel any way about it. It doesn't bother me. I have nothing to prove. I don't have to say what I did. I know what I did. The people who were there, although many are transitioning now, they know what I did. And I'm good with that. I don't have to prove that I had this unbelievable body and what I did in the gym and what I did in competition and other arenas. I don't have to prove that. It's a satisfaction that I have. And I think that's carried over into what I do on social media. My numbers are crappy now. People are laughing. It's okay. Oh man, look, he lost his numbers, man. What happened? It doesn't bother me. I know, and the people who are there know. And I'm marching on the same way, and I'm enjoying myself even more so along the way in this process because I know I'm more secured in my content. But as I create it, because like right now, I'm talking to you normal. This is not a fake side of me that, yes, this is the LANCESCURV show, a LANCESCURV with a Scurv podcast. And yes, I am your host, LANCESCURV. No. Why come on here, we talk? You're going to feel like I'm on the phone talking to you. I like the direct communication, not the sensationalistic production where I'm performing and you don't feel as though there's a connection between you and I. You see what I mean? And that's something that 24 years ago in 11 months, when I first got online, I said, I am going to be myself. Now I know that I'm multifaceted. I got all kind of different sides to my personality. I'm a little comedian when I want to be. You know, I can tell some jokes that are PG-13. I can tell the dirtiest jokes and make church ladies laugh because I can tell it in a decent way. I can tell it the street corner way too. And there's a big side of me that wants to come out and just be my funny self, but many people won't understand. I'm probably going to have to get a different channel and have a different name when nobody knows me and just bust out that way. I love it. I love to make people laugh. So that being said, I'm going to be me. And when you come online, be yourself. Because so many people get online and they want to be someone else or copy someone else's style or take pieces from different people and formulate this false side that they feel is validation, but deep down they don't feel it because they know it's not really them. I'm talking to you now just like I talk to my friends that I've known for many decades. You see? The same way. But the thing is, you got to understand, there's also power in controlling your narrative. When you constantly post, for those who are not content creators officially, people feel entitled to your story. I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about concepts, different ways of thinking, human nature. I might talk about a current event story if it has a twist to it that we can learn from it. But when you post your personal life, just every day, just every moment, I'm surprised people don't post themselves when they're sitting on the toilet. They post so much. And then you have people who you don't know who love you, who may hate on you for no reason, but they feel entitled after a while. And when you're putting up something that is put up and you're wearing a mask and it's just for validation, you don't get the satisfaction ultimately. Your creation gets the satisfaction. And this is what makes it seem as though time is moving on faster, because you don't have a real connection when you wear a mask, when you post constantly in a fake world. It's your world, but it's filtered, it's strained. Like when you put pasta in the strainer and the water falls out and the pasta stays, you're not really putting everything out. Nobody gets up and says, oh man, I'm late on my rent. I might get thrown out of this apartment. Oh man, my car might get repossessed. Oh man, my woman was cheating on me. Most of the people put their curated imagery of what they want the world to see. And guess what? But most people playing the comparison game, they might be fascinated with you, and at the same time, they may not even like you because your life is too perfect. And if it is going the way you want it to go, a lot of folks are not going to believe it anyway. So this is our escape most of the time, to put up a projection of not the whole truth. And I wouldn't want people to put up just bad stuff. No. But when we don't realize what we're doing, the effects on our brain and how we feel about our life go unnoticed until it hits a dead end. And you feel empty and you feel drained and you don't see the sense of it. There's also power, I'm going to say it again, in controlling your narrative. Because when you constantly post, people feel entitled to your story. They feel entitled to your story. See? They judge it, comment on it, and compare it, and sometimes misuse it. But when you share less, you keep control. Mystery forms naturally, and mystery creates respect in a world flooded with information. You may not have been online as hard as I've been for the past 1 month shy of 25 years, a quarter of a century, but I'm quite sure you can tell the difference if you've been on 10 years, 15 years, even 5 years. Let's just say 6 or 7, because 7 years brings you back to 2019. And then we had the whole virus thing going in 2020. And I think around 2020, when many people had more time working away from their actual job, if they had a job that you can work on a computer and stay at home. I mean, if you stock shelves at Walmart, there's no way you can do that through a computer. But even if you did that, you notice the world had changed. There's something about our energy. We had focused more on these social media platforms. And I do feel all of that was by design. And now we come out of that isolation or that reduced proximity to others because of social distancing, and it doesn't feel right. It's like something fell out of place and we can't get it back right again because our brains are changed and it's different. Social media has really permeated our minds and our brains, and we can't go back to the full enjoyment of inviting some friends over and just talking with them and laughing with them. No phones now. Imagine that. Having a good time, enjoying the presence of your loved ones and the ones who are in your inner circle. See? Now, when you're always visible on social media, your presence blends into the noise of all of these people throwing selfies up every day. I've seen people's pages that have popped up that I know. Like, I don't go searching pages and being nosy and looking and, they have a new car in the background. They got a new car? Who's that with them? I don't know if his wife is going to approve of how he's looking at this next woman. People read into stuff so much. The entitlement to your life. When someone appears rarely, their presence carries weight. And it isn't manipulation, it's human psychology. Another layer sits even deeper. Freedom from validation. Social platforms train the brain to crave small hits of approval for those who post for that. Again, this may not be you. Likes, reactions, and comments become emotional rewards. Over time, life starts to revolve around them. What you eat, where you go, what you wear, all filtered through how it will look to others. Choosing not to post breaks the cycle. You stop living for reactions and start living for experience. You eat without photographing it. You travel without announcing. You enjoy moments without thinking about angles or captions. What's the best caption could I put with this picture? Oh, is this a good angle? Or how's the lighting on this one? Just live. That's all I'm saying. Life becomes something you feel again, not something you display. If you don't get anything else from that, it's just to get you to live more life and worry less about displaying. Because the fact of the matter is, most people don't care anyway that see it. Unless it's your close inner circle. The way we were tricked into social media when Facebook came around, what was it, 2004? YouTube came around in 2005. YouTube is a different creature because you're not going to do the death scroll with that. You're going to learn things. You can seek out things. You can, you don't know how to use a certain tool, or there's a certain way of doing things online and you don't know how to do it. You can ask and you can search and you can get information. So I'll spare YouTube, even though they haven't done me good in these last few years. Okay? I'll spare them. But a lot of these other platforms, it's just like going to the gas station. You want to put gas in your tank. You put the nozzle in the gas tank and you squeeze. And you're so distracted that you don't realize. And how many people have seen this? Because I've seen this, and it happened to me one time, that I was so distracted, and it wasn't because of social media. I was zoned out, that my tank was full and the gas kept pumping and the gas was going down the side of the vehicle all over the ground. And somebody hit hey man, look at your tank. I was like, oh man. That can happen for different reasons. For me, I believe it's because around the time that my mother passed away. So my mind was kind of out there. I was kind of zoned out. But this is what social media will do to you, not just because or at the gas tank, but it'll zone you out where you're not aware where you really are and you're not absorbing life as it is. That's all I'm trying to say. Stay more grounded. Limit yourself on certain things. Say, I'm going to enjoy this time for myself. Look, I have friends, real friends, that I consider brothers, that we've known each other from the late 60s, single digit ages, all into the 70s. That we have our inside jokes that we're like speaking a different language. And those inside jokes, when they were formed, weren't at a time when social media or smartphones were around. And I wonder how many of those times wouldn't have been absorbed by all of us if we all had phones in our hands. Those times stuck. We have little slogans. We have little sayings. We have little things, little noises we make that remind us of something that happened where we all know the whole story, but just making that noise, it brings it all back. Private moments that we've shared that we didn't try to make it private, but it's just jokes between us, and they're still alive. As opposed to a post you'll put up that you forgot you put the post up and nobody's talking about it after a week or so. And we know each other so well. I have certain friends of mine, a handful of them, that when it comes to my life, they can write chapters of my life because they've been there with me. They've been there when we had the uncontrollable laughs, and it's the same thing with them and me. The times when I had to cry, seriously cry, because things were going on. And we laugh sometimes at those things in certain circumstances. You know, when it deals with me, I laugh about it. Y'all don't know the half of it. I'd have to explain it. And I will, because it's fun. And it's real stuff that I experienced. And I have to say, I've experienced so many real moments. And I'm glad that social media wasn't around when I was younger. Because I can share some real things with you. And I've lived a fast life. Not drugs, not crime. Maybe a few more girlfriends that I should have had. But just growing up in New York City and the human nature experiences that taught me about human nature and circumstances, as I look back, which I'm all about the present, I'm not living in the past, but there's some things in my crates mentally that I have to tell you because it's not on social media. But just telling you the story, bringing you into it to make you understand how it felt, the characters I've met. What a wonderful life I've had, and I have to say that, even with the downs, with the ups, or the ups and the downs. I got so much to cheer you up, so much to make you think on a different level. And again, I'm nobody's guru. I'm just a regular guy who likes to share the vast experiences I've had. But that's not posting for validation. I'll share those things on a human level so you can extract something from it. It's not about making me look great. I don't care about that. I had my days of looking great. I had my days of slowing down traffic when I walked down the street. I know what that's like. At this age, in April, I'm turning 63. I don't have time to try to convince you, man, I was bad back in the... No, we all have our time. Let the younger folks have their time. And my time now is on a different frequency. I'm not going to walk down the street and try to take my shirt off. I look terrible right now. Compared to then, my mind is beyond that. So I happen to tithe my experiences. Because most of the day, like today, I was all over. I had things to do. I had to wait for a delivery of paint. I had a guy come by and do a site survey for certain things on the property. We rode down together into the city, and I went shopping and picked up some more things and hopped on the van and came back up. And I'm here. It's late. It's later than I thought. I didn't think I would be talking this late. I want to take it easy tomorrow. I want to post at least 2 things, or 2 live shows, or 2 different separate things. I have an idea what I want to speak about, but I'm open for suggestions. It's part of the journey, but it's not every moment of my life. I want to, at this age, saturate my soul with real experiences. And I will share some of them. But I'm not going to walk around all day with a camera and just say, and then what's in it for me? How do I enjoy it? If between bites at the restaurant that I love to go to, I got the camera in my face. I will still share, but I just want you to absorb more life, because 2026, it's like these last 25 years were a blur because of our overall indulgence in this thing called social media, which may seem commercial as a business, but this was well devised, because the social media time period in our lives, for those of us who are older, feel a lot different pre-social media. Back then, the sun appeared to shine brighter. The music sounded sweeter. The laughs were deeper. But social media has sucked something away from us. There's also protection in this choice. When your life isn't on display, it can't be picked apart. There's no image to criticize, no moment for others to twist around, no comparison to make. That in itself creates peace, real peace. The kind that doesn't depend on public approval. Many mistake silence for shyness or weakness. In truth, it often comes from strength. Maybe not all the time, but a whole lot of the time. From knowing what deserves privacy. From understanding that not everyone needs access to your inner world. Boundaries like that are signs of emotional maturity. Another overlooked truth is how silence shapes relationships. When you don't broadcast your life, people must actually talk to you to know you. They have to ask questions. They have to listen. Connection becomes intentional instead of passive, deeper, more real. It's intentional because you have to speak directly to the person. It's passive because if they're putting up so much stuff about their life, you can just sit back and just watch and assume, because it all doesn't have to be the truth of what's posted. Right? It also reveals who truly cares. Without constant updates, only genuine interest will remain. And that clarity is powerful. It separates curiosity from care, attention from connection. There's also something freeing about not performing. Many people move through life acting without realizing it. Every outing becomes a stage. Every moment becomes content. That pressure is exhausting for those who are not doing it for balanced reasons. And again, I'm going to put myself on that list. I believe that I've done it over the years in a balanced way. That's why I'm still here. When you step away from it, you stop acting and start living. The trick as a content creator is to be able to do it and still live. I always stay strapped with a camera, some kind of camera. I don't bring my really, really nice camera out and it drops or, something happens to us, some freak accident. But I will carry an action camera and my phone. If there's something worthy, it might be something I observe. I'll capture it. But it has to bring value. It has to bring value. And it has to be authentic. Just like I'm sitting here talking to you now. I've jotted down some notes, but this is unscripted and from the heart. You see? Without the need to impress, comparison loses its grip. Because see, people compare themselves to you if you post about your personal life. They want to outdo you. This is on the negative human nature side. Not everybody thinks that way. Not everybody's negative. I speak a lot about negative energies, just to keep you hip in order to protect yourself, because on social media, we're wide open. Imagine if you do post or have a page or certain platforms, there's somebody looking at you right now. There's somebody looking at you right now. Most likely it's a stranger. That can be spooky. That can be very spooky. But you stop measuring your life against curated versions of yourself. See, for those who put up the fake type stuff about their life, but it's not really that way, there's a pressure. There's a pressure to live up to that, to deliver the goods even more impressive. So you're not even focusing on just enjoying yourself. Let me tell you something. Every couple days, because I'm home a lot. There was a week where I was like home for like almost 2 weeks. I had my food, we had our stuff. I never need to go out. Now I go out on the balconies, I go out in the yard, I get my sun. You know, I go out, I get nature at home. But there are times I leave my phone home on purpose. On my phone, I have my WhatsApp and I have a local number, and I also have an app where you can call direct, but I got to reconnect that since I got this new phone. And I'll have a local phone with another number that I don't even know that number. I hardly use it. And I'll just throw on my t-shirt, my shorts, and my Crocs and just take a walk up the mountain to the village and just grab a seat somewhere. Maybe at the barber shop with my buddy Lawrence. I have a sister up there, not my blood sister, Sister Mary. I'll sit there while she cooks. People walk by, hey, how are you doing, brother? Oh, I love that video you did. Or they gather around and they ask me about New York City. We laugh and talk. Somebody might be short a couple of bills and I'll pay for their meal or something. And just take a walk here and there and just let the energy take me where it needs to take me. Because in America, you could be so hell-bent on, I have to do this and I have to do, yeah, and there are days you have to do certain things and get things done. But I'll totally detach and walk out and not know exactly who I'm going to talk to or where I end up. I have a favorite pair of shorts that I like to wear. I have a bunch of shorts, but this one is like my favorite. So I took it up to the tailor, the young man. I've seen him there lots of times. But I asked him to repair my pants. I had a split in the butt. It's just split right there. And I'm like, I'm not going out there and it get worse. No, nobody wants that. So he sold it up and we were talking. I found out that his mother is a police officer and the precinct is like right next door. Or where the cops are. They don't say precinct out here, you know, the police station. And he started asking me about New York City growing up, and they're fascinated with America. And there's something about New York that they love, so they started talking to me about it. I don't mind. And so he had finished a long time before, and we were still there. I was there like an hour and a half. Y'all know I'm talkative. Then one of the girls from the shop next door came and said, I see you all the time. My name is so-and-so, whatever. So, you know, when this accumulates like this, and I'm somewhere that's really nondescript to the outside world, like this village outside of Accra, up in the mountains, where you have locals who are here, who really don't have an interest in anywhere else. This is their life. Which many people who have their nose in the air would say, oh, that's just a small existence. But it's a beautiful existence. And they have phones and stuff, but they have a culture and a feeling of being grounded that is so refreshing to me. And I had some of my best times going up, sitting down with the guys who drive the taxis and they're taking the turns. Who's next? You're next. It might take 30 minutes to an hour for the guys to move off, but they're playing dominoes or cards, they're laughing, talking. I got nicknames for all of them. And we have deep conversations in passing. Now, maybe tomorrow will be that for me if it's not going to rain. And we're into the dry season, but it still rains a little bit here and there. It's been raining more than any dry season that I've experienced in the 5 years and 3 months that I've lived here. But without the phone in my pocket and I'm out there talking, floating, connecting, human energy. And there are people, and this has nothing to do with the topic, but you going to Africa, man, them people don't like you. And I'm like, how could they say that? When you approach people with a smile and understanding, and without the superficial lies that other people told you about somebody. You know, I'm on a flow and I still have more to talk about on this subject, but I want to say, how many times have you heard something about somebody that wasn't good, and in your immaturity, you might have started to not like them because of what you heard? And you might have heard that from somebody that you thought you trusted. And now you formulated an opinion about this person. Come to find out that all you heard about this person were lies. And they really were good, upstanding people that you liked. And then you realize that the people who told you the negative stuff about this person, they were negative in themselves. And they didn't want that person to be liked for whatever reason. So they wanted to poison your mind against them. Now, you do have knuckleheads out here who have bad energy, and you'll quickly find that out. And when it comes to those people, they get scratched off the list. I don't even acknowledge them because my life is too precious. My days are too precious. As I move up in the chronological years, you think I got time to waste? So when I come back home after my time in the village, which it may get so late and I didn't even come back home and it's dark. Now, mind you, it's dark after 6 o'clock. There is no daylight savings time out here. So walking down that country road where it doesn't have a lot of lights, if you're thinking in the way of America, oh my God, somebody can come out here and mug me. It's dark. And when you see people approach you and you have that mindset, it's quickly shattered when they say, good evening, how are you? Can I help you with your bags? You know what I mean? Even some of the young ladies that walk in the same direction, they honor me like I'm an elder. Please, I must hold your bag. I must carry your bag. Like, wow, look at the respect. So it's perpetual. I don't have to get ready for a battle when I leave outside. And when I leave my phone, when those times come, it's a beautiful thing. You see? But you move at your own pace, where you don't have the pressure to post all the time. You do it when you want to. That's the best way of balance. Not when you feel you need to every moment. I'm in the shoe shop tying my shoes. Hey, get a shot of me tying my shoes. You know what I mean? Like, this is not Hollywood. That's exhausting. You define success on your own terms. And for me, it's simplicity. And that creates inner stability. For other people, it may be other things. But it's just living a simple life and not living, and I'll say it, I lived a much more complicated life in America. Not because I wanted it to be that way, but because that was the atmosphere. Simple now. Simple. I'm not even eating as much as I used to, because I'm getting fed by the joy in my heart from the atmosphere that I'm in. Privacy also protects what matters most. You know what that is? It's your joy, your relationships, your healing, And not everything sacred needs an audience. You have your inner circle? That's cool. Some things grow better in quiet. Some joys deepen when they're not exposed. There's also mystery and restraint. In a world where everything is revealed instantly, what remains hidden gains value. Mystery sparks curiosity. It creates presence. It invites respect. Silence becomes a form of identity rather than absence. Those who don't post often develop a strong inner anchor. Their sense of self doesn't rise or fall with reactions. Their life continues whether anyone is watching or not. And that's real independence. And so this is why I kind of aim this at those who post, but they're not really content creators, and they can get sucked into the whirlpool of the dopamine hit cravings and keep on posting, and they lose their grip on life and experiencing life. Because, okay, let's use this analogy. You're at a dead stop at a red light, and all of a sudden you mash down on the gas and the tires spin so fast. But guess what? It loses its grip on the road and you go nowhere. You go nowhere. If you post so much but don't have a purpose, where it's a business or an actual platform, I mean, there's a huge part of my bottom floor, half of it, that's created here for a studio. Because this is what I do. I'm going to paint the ceilings next week and do some things. It's not completed, but it's beautiful in here. And it can host a lot of people, but I put so many years in. I know this is something that I do. So this is my man cave. This is my nightclub. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying this in my retirement. I can get up out my bedroom and come downstairs and post anytime I want. I have a huge unlimited amount of internet. I can run this thing 24/7. Because this is what I do. If I was into muscle cars, if I was into collecting modeled tanks from World War II, I'm into artwork, I'll be doing that also. And I'm also going to get into painting. I think I'm a pretty good painter. I'm gonna let you be the judge when I paint something. I'm gonna put it up. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Exploration to live life. And when you have something concrete, then you post it. You share the milestones. But you don't have to share every time you pick your nose. Right? And there's the deeper truth most people avoid. Real freedom isn't being seen. It's not needing to be seen. The ability to live fully without an audience is one of the rarest forms of confidence today. Really and truly. Because when you do something, it pulls more weight. But you're not a slave to it. Time also feels different when you're not chasing moments to capture. Hear that? Chasing moments to capture. You're so busy. I'm not saying you now. Again, I'm just saying this like I'm speaking to somebody who needs it. Because there has to be somebody who needs that. But if you're chasing moments to capture, how are you really enjoying your time in those moments? Let them come to you. You experience it instead of freezing it. Memories gain texture. Emotion becomes richer. Life slows down in a meaningful way. Especially when you can look at a friend and you both laugh on a memory. You might not have a picture of it, and And I'm not against it, but when you share it privately between you, that's something that you have forevermore. I have a dear friend of mine that has been several times on the old channel, Nurse Navaya. And we first met when I was bouncing in the club in Orlando, Florida. I can tell that much. And we became good friends to this day. And when I first had my first few conversations with her, I used words naturally, and we have an inside joke, and I'll share it. The word pinnacle. I use that word in a conversation because I do have a vast vocabulary, and I do hold it back a lot because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to use big words. But that word came out, and she's brilliant now herself. Brilliant in the medical field. And that reminds me, I have to call her tomorrow. But I said something about something being the pinnacle of a certain type of experience. And she's like, Lance, who says pinnacle? Now, we have a lot of brilliant black brothers out here, right? I'm not college educated. I'm a high school guy, but I'm self-taught in a lot of things and just experience. But she says, how many black men around here are using the word pinnacle? So that's our word that we use to identify me and that inside joke that we have. So when I talk to her every now and then, I'll use the word pinnacle in the conversation. I say, you know, Nurse Navaya, which is not her real name, you know, you are the pinnacle of brilliance and beauty combined. And that word, like, every time she hears it, it reminds her of me. It just happened. This is the first time I'm sharing that. And I have such connections with so many people that I make sure that it's not some posted content, but it's something personal between me and you. And if we don't have that yet, we will have it, whoever you are, right? That's the beauty of it. You know, when you live without constant display, you reclaim ownership of your story. You decide what stays private and what gets shared. You stop outsourcing your identity to algorithms and opinions. And again, this isn't about rejecting technology. It's about refusing to let it define your value. It's about choosing depth over noise, presence over performance, and meaning over metrics. In a world built on exposure, choosing restraint becomes a quiet rebellion. A refusal to be reduced to content. A decision to exist fully, even when no one is watching. So at the end of the day, this isn't really about social media. It's about how you choose to live, what you protect, what you give away, and what you keep sacred. Some people fear being forgotten, but those who live deeply don't worry about that. Their memories live in them, not on a screen. Their moments don't need witnesses to be real. All of my friends, who most of them know each other and call each other and check, it's beautiful. I mean, I have a few friends that are not part of that circle, but they are known still because I mention their names. And the memories that we have, they live within us. Let me tell you one that is so abstract, you probably won't understand it. I'll say it real quick. There's a gym that I used to go to named Zin's Gym. It was in Ridgewood, Queens. I had free memberships in many gyms because I competed and represented those gyms. But that was the main one. That wasn't the first one, which was Powerhouse Gym in my neighborhood. But I went on to go to Zen's Gym because it had better equipment, better competitors. Yeah, they had guys who were on steroids there, but I learned a lot about nutrition, and I learned a lot about the steroids too, even though I never took them. So the owner was kind of egotistical. In that world, you had other gym owners who had gyms, but the gyms weren't doing as well. Zen's Gym was the sugar honey iced tea, and he knew it, and he had ego, and he was funny. He used to compete when he was younger. He dipped and dabbed in the steroids. He was in his 30s, his mid 30s at the time, I think, when I was about 18, 19. But he had a big ego about his gym, right? And me and him got along well. He gave me keys to the gym because I would train late, and he trusted me to close the gym down and set the alarms and everything. I've always had good relationships with people. And of course, you're in the gym, sometimes girlfriends come up, women come up, guy talk happens. And so he may have seen me training a young lady who many of the gym members felt was extremely attractive. And he's asking me, and he had this funny voice. So come on now, what did you do with her? I'm like, listen, man, nothing happened. If it did, and this is back in the day, I'll tell you if it did. And I didn't tell my business like that, not to him, because he would have spread it all over the place. So there was one young lady who used to come up to the gym. She lived in the neighborhood, and she'd come up there to see me when I was leaving, and she'd invite me over to a place sometime. And there's a couple of times I crashed out and slept there. And yes, some calisthenics did happen, right? I'll admit that. So now in the morning time, if I didn't have to work the next morning, I'm in the neighborhood. So he comes to open up his gym early and I'm still in the neighborhood. So he knows that some intimacies did happen. So the funny thing he would always say when he doubted my circumstances on those levels, he wanted the tea. He wanted the real deal. So he would say, I would say, listen, man, nothing happened. And he would say, come on now, kid. It's me you're talking to. Like we had this inside track. Don't lie to me. I know you did something. So a lot of my friends who may have trained and stopped, or they would come with me to the gym and they got to know him too. So this is something how we interact with each other. And we said it earlier today. And we were speaking about an old story of something that had nothing to do with women or anything. And my friend thought I was not telling him the whole story. So he said, come on now, kid. It's me you're talking to. So you wouldn't understand that, but that was part of the inside joke. So there are a lot of other things that this man has said and he's passed on, but he was a funny character. But that was the gym that I trained in when I won the Teenage Mr. America, the natural version in 1982. And we drove up together with a few of the other competitors. I was the only teenager. And we formulated so many memories that when I told my other friends about it, they absorbed it, and we bounced this stuff off of each other every single day. Social media has nothing to do with that. This is the first time me telling you this, which sounds silly and it doesn't make sense, but it was so funny as it happened. And so I have a saying that I use where I collect people, I collect personalities, meaning the people that I've met, I want other people to know about them, that they were funny, they were serious, or they had something to say. And I reflect their love and I reflect their light. And that's what social media is for me. Because there are people who you will never know that I knew, just the same that there are people that I would never know that you knew. They may have moved away, transitioned, whatever, just disappeared. So for me, this is what it's all about. To reflect the energy of my experiences and other people's experiences and people that I've known that were so comical or so unforgettable. And I love to imitate people too, right? Not as a way to make fun of them, but the uniqueness. And as an artist, this is why I love faces so much, because they're so unique. I love caricatures, over-exaggerating certain features to get the point of how they look. You see what I mean? So me walking around living life life is wonderful because I'm being stimulated on so many different levels. In actuality, I don't need social media. I am my own social media if it didn't exist, because I've been this way all these years. So this is why it's a perfect fit for me within balance. So I'm a little different than most content creators. I have nothing to prove. I'm like a little mom and pop store. I don't have to be Walmart or Target or a big box store selling thousands and thousands of different items. I'm glad to hold down my little corner of cyberspace, share my stories, share my experiences. It's not for validation. As a matter of fact, because of the love of my friends, my parents, my community that I grew up in, it's already been validated. I'm just affording people the sweet spots and parts of my life, and to even speak about the things that weren't so good that I learned from. Maybe somebody else can learn from it. So I'm not here just to be seen. And I understand the social media game. You're looking at a picture of me right now, the graphics, and you got to package it right? You're not just going to have a great restaurant and throw the food on a dirty hubcap and think people are going to come there. It's presentation also. I understand that. But my presentation is not ever going to be fake. That's why I can get in front of this mic and just run off at the mouth like this. You see? But like I said, some people fear being forgotten. But then, so you ask yourself honestly, if no one can see what you post, would your life still feel meaningful? If the answer is yes, you're already ahead. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a loud world is remain quietly whole. I'm going to say it again. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a loud world is remain quietly whole. Not overextending yourself. Now, in boxing, but that's a sport that I love. It's not a good feeling to get hit, but it's something that I love. You have to keep your weight balanced. You have to stand over your feet. Your leg work, your movement, your balance is very important. Me riding a unicycle from very young, it's hard to knock me off my feet because I have a superior sense of balance. But if the opponent is a bit out of your reach and you reach over out of your range to hit him, you're off balance and the power in your blows are greatly reduced. See, I can get technical with that whole thing, but this also translates to life. Remain who you are. Stay balanced in who you are. Don't extend yourself to try to impress somebody in being somebody that you're not, which reduces your effectiveness of being who you are. Always be yourself. And if you don't want to engage in certain things online, you don't have to. I know people who back in the day would argue with strangers on political topics. I mean, for hours. They'd fall asleep with the phone in their hand. They'd wake up and start arguing again. One guy, I didn't sleep for almost 3 days. I'm going to win this argument. With who? And what are you arguing about? Those same politicians don't care about you. Their image is carefully drawn up and created, and you're arguing over something that's fake. And the other people are defending that political opponent. But they're all going to the golf club together and playing golf, and you think they're in opposition with each other. You believe they're fussing and fighting, and so many of them are out there on the Epstein files, right? Doing all kind of decadent, pedo activity, deception, smoke and mirrors. The people who love deception, they love social media because they can put up an image that's so perfect to appeal to you that you become intoxicated. And that's so many of these people who are content creators and YouTube revolutionaries. You have so many of them that are out here that are so pro-black. And some of them can't even stand their own sisters. They're laying up with the other woman, if you know what I mean. And they wouldn't dare. But to get that support, they talk the talk. Be careful who you're watching, because it's not always real. Anyway, as is on this banner, make sure to go to LANCESCURVX.com and sign up with your email address so that you can get every bit of content that we create. Not just the videos. The videos that are on YouTube will go on LANCESCURVX, and some videos that are too hot for YouTube, they'll be on LANCESCURVX and they get delivered right into your inbox, free of charge. Free of charge. But if YouTube decides to play its tricks again, we will still remain connected. That's the strategy. And so I'll always give my authentic self, and like I like to say, brutally honest, opinionated commentary. You're not going to have to wonder how I feel. I'm not going to play it politically correct, but I'm also not out here to insult anybody. But I'm going to tell the real deal about what it is that I feel in my heart. We need more people like that. Am I turning into that older uncle who comes to the party, the house party or the family reunion, who just tells it like it is in a scathing way? I'm not trying to be scathing or hurt anybody's feelings. But if you quietly ask me how I feel about something, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And there are too many people out here who are trying to be politically correct because you're forced into doing that, especially on these platforms. You can't really say what you want to say. And I'm going to tell you, AI is like the pit bull of social media. And they're depending less on human monitors. And I'll say this about YouTube, I know this for a fact. Because back in the day, they hired more monitors around the jab time when we had to wear the mask to kind of police the people who were expressing their opinions about that whole thing being a fallacy. So they had to come after you, but it took time. You mess up now, you immediately taken down either the video or your channel. And so there's certain videos that I have that are monetized, there's some that are not monetized. And they'll let you know, oh, this is not monetized. And then you say, listen, I need a human review on this. And because AI is there striking people down, the humans that are there have more time to get at stuff. So stuff gets corrected within maybe an hour or two, where it might have taken 2 weeks before. So I know AI is all up in this bad boy. Just know, and this is off topic because I'm pretty much done with what I was saying with that. I'm just dropping a few nuggets before I go. But platforms like Telegram, you get on there, and they say, and I believe this is a lowball number, they say at least 45% of those who interact with you, unless you know them, are bots that are trained to talk to you, and usually to get you to get into some cryptocurrency or get into some multi-level marketing type thing or whatever. And they talk to you and they have profiles. And most of them are fake. Hi, how are you doing, Lance? What's going on with you today? I'm like, where do I know you from? Oh, at a party years ago. No, be more specific. At one point I was arguing with bots, and when you shut them down, they don't say anything to you anymore because they don't know how to answer you. I don't do that though, that's a waste of time, but I used to get a thrill from that. You know, the one they do now is, oh, are you still open for the job opening? I said, sure. What openings do you have in Accra, Ghana, West Africa? And they're sitting there like, hamada, 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 like Ralph Cramton on the Honeymooners. They don't have an answer. Intrusive. So I'm on it, but I'm like, I might shut that one down. There's a couple that I might shut down, but I'm still going to be here. If I do shut anyone's down, it won't be this one or LANCESCURV X. I'll focus more on that to make it even better, because a lot of it is just doom scrolling. But I think I said enough on this topic, and I want to hear what you have to say. And most of the videos that I put out will be like this heart-to-heart type talk, something real you can listen to when you're on a treadmill or going to the supermarket or washing clothes. The real stuff, not just the ultra stimulating, sensationalistic, breaking news, breaking news. You have some platforms that they cry wolf. Everything is breaking news. Denzel Washington seen in Italy picking his nose. Come on, that's not breaking news for me. It's so crazy. But I want to just thank you as I approach my 25th full year next month. I don't even know what day. I know it's in the middle. When I first got on AOL and Black Planet, and before there was a YouTube or a Facebook, I was on social media writing articles and drawing pictures and even getting some interviews. There might be some of those floating around. A lot of them were lost, but it still is consistent with who I've maintained being, my authentic self, all these years. And it really is a milestone. And I'm gonna probably have a live show about it, and talk about some of my experiences in the early days coming on up, because it's been a fascinating journey for me, a really fascinating journey. And there are many people that I've known that have helped me along the way that have passed away and transitioned, and I will acknowledge them. I still hold some, I wouldn't say secrets, but things I don't want to reveal yet because I don't want to shame anybody. There's a lot of dirt out here. There's a lot of things I know from the time that I've been out here. And the new generations that come, they're like, who is this old guy with a new channel? They don't know. And there's no competition here, because for them, it's their time. I just continue to do what I do. And I'm just so thankful for the few who come here and do appreciate my efforts. There's a lot out here to see. I watch other people's YouTube videos. They're people I subscribe to and like. But for my style and for who I am, I don't have to seek validation. I never did, but it's always built in with your participation here. And I'm thankful for that, because that's fuel that helps to keep me going. You know, at this point in my life, it's a gift. When most men my age retire and have nothing to do and get bored and eventually pass away, this is not the only thing I do. But it does keep me alive on a certain level of engagement with current events and how people react and deal with each other and solutions to issues that people have. And it's total enjoyment for me. And I'm quite sure it's adding years onto my life. And as those years accumulate, I want to utilize them in servitude to leave something behind that's good and spiritually and mentally nutritious to make people better, even if it's just to bring a smile on your face. That being said, I'm going to move on to getting this up online, and tomorrow's another day. We'll continue, creator willing. And after this, and after I set this up, I'm going to have the best deep sleep that you could ever imagine. This has been very satisfying to me. And I look forward to creating more content tomorrow that we can really think on deep levels with. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Spread it if it's good for you, share it, all that internet stuff. If not, it's cool. It'll go where it goes. But I do appreciate you. And I still have so many to answer back who wish me a happy new year. It's gonna take time, y'all, all right? So I'll speak with you later tomorrow. I'll be back on. I love you all dearly. I'm on to the next one. After I get my sleep, LANCESCURV out. And as always, I wish you all peace, prosperity, and peace of mind. Thank you very much.